Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Imam al-Hassan, the eldest son of Amir al-Mu'minin, the commander of the faithful, who chose to sign a peace treaty with Muawiyah, the enemy of Islam, the enemy of Imam al-Hassan himself, and the enemy of Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. What was the reason? This is a very common question nowadays, that even at the time of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, they said, Ya mudhill al-mu'minin, you are the cause of disdain and contempt to the ummah of Rasulullah. Why? Because you wrote a peace treaty to Muawiyah instead of fighting against the enemy. Is that it? Or there is something behind it as a reason, as a cause, as a wisely and intellectual reason why Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, who stopped fighting against that, chose this strategy against Muawiyah? There are some reasons behind this. The first reason is that Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam was forced to sign this peace treaty with that person. Why? Because of the lack of the supporters, lack of the companions. Even the commander of his own army was not with him, betrayed him when he was going to start a war against Muawiyah. So what is Imam al-Hassan going to do? When his father Amir al-Mu'minin, because of the lack of the followers and companions, decided to stop fighting and saying words against the rulers of the time, let alone Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, he forced. The people were not following him and we were not advocating him. He's not going to do the things miraculously. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala himself is not doing the things miraculously. He's about to do the things strategically, through the tactics, through the help and support of the people. But people were not doing this. One reason was this. Second, unlike Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, was that Muawiyah was actually attaching to the surface of the religion. He was not a corrupted person the way Yazid was corrupted. Muawiyah was caring about the superficial aspects of religion. He was not going to show himself as a corrupted person. He was a hypocrite, unlike Yazid. Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, because of this hypocritical strategy of Muawiyah, had to do and had to take such step and take such strategy. So the most important thing for Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam to sign this peace treaty is that there were lack of supporters and lack of people. Stop the bloodshed. If he was not going to do this, the Mu'minin, the Shia, who were threatened by his throne, were going to, he was going to fight against them and start a massacre and slaughter, kill the Shias, kill the Alawis, kill the followers of Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam, threatened, and he was going to do this. So Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam said, instead of starting a war and the Mu'mineen and me myself and the family being killed, I decide to sign a peace treaty. But he took advantage out of this peace treaty, brothers and sisters. It is that he made some contents eligible and about to be followed by Muawiyah in this peace treaty. It was that the Khilafah and the Caliphate was not going to be transferred to his son and to his grandson. This was an advantage that Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam took advantage of this peace treaty. The second was that he was not about to threaten and to harm and to torture the Alawites. This was the second of one of the conditions of the peace treaty that Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam decided to depict in this peace treaty. The stoppage of the war, the stoppage of the bloodshed, the security and the safety for the Alawites and especially Imam al-Hassan and Imam al-Hussain and the sons and the children and the followers of Amir al-Mu'minin were all the things that were the conditions of this peace treaty that was the best solution and best decision that one Imam at the time of Muawiyah could make such a decision. That was why Imam al-Khamenei, the supreme leader of the Islamic Revolution, says Imam al-Hassan is the bravest of the A'imma, because though he had to fight against the enemy, and this is the primary rule of Islam, to fight against the kafir, to fight against the munafiq, but he chose to sign a peace treaty and put his feet on his desire, on his wish, in order to bring the safety and security and betterment for the Islamic Ummah. Inshallah, Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam is satisfied with all of us by following him and by knowing the true ideology behind his peace treaty, knowing it cognitively and understanding this reality. Inshallah ta'ala. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Ali ibn Musa al-Murtada. الإمام التقي النبي وحجتك على من فوق الأرض ومن تحت الثرى الصديق الشهيد صلاة كثيرة تامة زاكية متواصلة متواترة مترادفة كأفضل ما صليت على أحد من أوليائك